Hey guys, Miss Warren here. I'm going to go over this worksheet here on how to do 2-point linear perspective. Now, eventually we're going to be drawing a city. And the purpose of this first page here is to show you how to draw objects that are above the horizon line, in the middle of the horizon line, and below the horizon line. So first what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a horizon line across the page. Now you can use a ruler if you have one, or you can use a piece of thick paper, anything that helps you draw a perfectly straight line. Now, I want to make sure that it's straight, and I make sure that this horizon line is straight by lining up the edge of my paper to the edge of the area I'm drawing in, or to the edge of the paper here. I want to make sure that this is parallel so that my line will be 100% straight. I'm going to use a pencil. You must use a pencil and a ruler or a straight edge for this entire assignment. You can, at no point should you freehand, and at no point should you use pen for this packet. Okay, so there's my horizon line. A horizon line is where the earth meets the sky, or it's a line that is even with the viewer's eye. So if somebody was looking into the room or the scene, that would be eye level with them, or it's where the earth meets the sky. That's the horizon line. If you would like to label it, if it helps you to remember, I'll label mine here. So, because I'm going to say horizon line quite a bit as we do this technique. Now, I have my horizon line here. Now, we are doing a technique called 2-point linear perspective. So that means we need 2 vanishing points. I like to put mine a little outside of the drawing area on the edges of my horizon line. These 2 dots are called the vanishing points. I'll just put VP here for this one for short. So these 2 are the vanishing points. It's when everything gets smaller and smaller and smaller until it appears to vanish at these 2 points. So a horizon line, vanishing point. For 2-point linear perspective, you will always start this way. Okay, now that we have something to relate to, anything above the horizon line, like this box here that we're about to draw, you'll be able to see the bottom of. Anything even with the horizon line, you can just see the sides of. Anything below the horizon line, you can just see the top of. So this works in real life too. So if you can just see the sides of this eraser, if it's even with your sight, then you can just see the sides. If it's lower than eye level, you can see the top, but not the bottom. And if it's higher than eye level, then you can see the bottom and not the top. Okay. So 2-point linear perspective, we're going to have the corners of the objects facing us. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the corners, however long and where I want them. So I think I'm going to do my first one up here to the left and above the horizon line. I'm not going to quite touch the edge of the paper because I want a little bit of room. Then I'm going to do my next one in the center of the horizon line. Then I'm going to do one below and to the right of the horizon line. Okay. So these are the corners of my boxes. I'm going to start with the center one first, since you don't have to really worry about the top. So the sides of the box are going to recede, that is to get smaller and smaller as they get towards the vanishing point. So I'm going to touch the edge of the corner here. I'm going to touch the dot with my straight edge, and I'm going to draw that line all the way. Now the right side, so the left side goes to the left side, and the right side is going to go to the right side. So I'm going to touch the edge of my corner here. I'm going to touch the vanishing point, and I'm going to draw the line. These lines that slant to the vanishing point are called orthogonals. I'm going to label this one real quick. So anything that slants to a vanishing point is called an orthogonal. So I'm going to touch the top of the corner, touch the vanishing point, and draw the orthogonal. Cool. Now my box goes on for... Hey guys, Miss Warren back. I had a little bit of an interruption. I don't want my box to go on forever and ever, so I'm going to choose where to stop it. So I'm going to make sure that my straight edge or ruler, whatever I'm using, is absolutely vertical, straight up and down, just like this one is, by making sure the bottom is parallel to the edge of my page. And I'm going to draw it straight up and down. Then I'm going to slide over and draw it straight up and down. So there I have my three-dimensional box drawn in 2-point perspective. The advantage of 2-point perspective, I'm going to erase my extra orthogonals that I'm not going to use anymore. The advantage of drawing in 2-point linear perspective is that it makes everything look 3D in the same way. It makes it look like it's in the same area, it's in the same environment, and it recedes at the same rate towards the same direction. I'm going to erase the inside of the box here too, because this box isn't transparent and it overlaps that horizon line. So there I have my center box. Now we're going to get a little more tricky and we're going to draw the box above the horizon line. Got my straight edge. So I'm going to start with the same process. I'm going to go from my little corner of my box here. I'm going to touch the top of it and I'm going to go to the right side. And I'm going to draw the orthogonal all the way to the vanishing point. Then I'm going to touch the bottom, go to the right side, draw the orthogonal all the way to the vanishing point. On the left side, I'm going to do the same. Touch the corner of the box. Now this seems like a kind of extreme angle, and the closer you get to your vanishing point, the more extreme that angle will be. So that's okay. I'm going to touch the corner of my box, draw the orthogonal to the vanishing point, touch the corner of my box, draw the orthogonal exactly to my vanishing point. It needs to exactly touch or it won't look correct. Okay, now I've gotten as far as the start of this box. I need to choose, right now my box goes on forever and ever, and I need to choose where I want it to end it. So I'm going to make sure my ruler straight edge is very straight up and down. It's absolutely vertical. And I'm going to draw a vertical line in between the two orthogonals. I'm going to start at one orthogonal and stop at the other to show where I want my box to end. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Start at the top orthogonal, draw it to the bottom one, and stop. Okay. Now I have the sides of my box, but I don't have the bottom. This is where it gets a little bit tricky, and maybe you couldn't predict how to do the bottom side. If you can, try and figure out how you would do that. Okay, so I'm going to show y'all now. I'm going to take the right side, I'm going to line it up with the edge of the right side, and I'm going to draw an orthogonal to the left side. So when you're drawing the bottom or the top of a cube, you go to the opposite. You're going to do a little bit of crisscross here. So I'm going to go from the right ending to the left vanishing point with my orthogonal. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. It's a little bit of a crisscross here. I'm going to start on the left side, and I'm going to go to the right vanishing point with my orthogonal. Okay, so there we have a cube above the vanishing point, and above the horizon line. So I'm going to go ahead and erase my extra lines. Kind of clean that up there. And this is 3D in the same way and in the same environment as the cube below it. I'm going to put a pause right there, and then I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the last cube. Okay, I had a little bit of an interruption there, but I'm back. So earlier in the video, we did a cube in 2-point linear perspective in the center of the horizon line, and each side recedes to the vanishing point. Up here, we did a cube in 2-point linear perspective that's above the horizon line, so you can see the bottom of it. Now we're going to start on a cube in linear perspective that you can see the top of because it's below the horizon line. So yet again, the right side of the cube goes to the right vanishing point. I'm going to line it up with the edge. The orthogonals go to the right vanishing point. Line it up with the edge. The orthogonals go to the right vanishing point. The left side goes to the left. Line up with the edge. Make sure it goes exactly to that vanishing point. And then the bottom edge goes exactly to the vanishing point. Okay, now I have a form that kind of goes on forever and ever, so I need to choose where to end it. I'm going to make sure that my ruler is absolutely straight up and down by lining the edge of the ruler up with the edge of the page. Make sure that's exactly vertical. And then I'm going to end it on the other side, making sure that my line is exactly vertical. So I start at the top orthogonal, I draw it to the bottom orthogonal, and then I stop. Okay. That's a little bit slanted. I must have slid my ruler. Let me fix that real quick. There we go, that's much better. Okay, now to draw the top of a cube in 2-point linear perspective, we have to go to the opposite side and the opposite side. And where they crisscross in the back will make the back corner. So I'm going to start with the end of my cube. I'm going to touch it to the top, and then I'm going to touch that to the vanishing point, and I'm going to draw my line to the opposite side. Then on the right side, I'm going to touch the top of the end of my cube. I'm going to touch the vanishing point, and I'm going to go to the left side. So the crisscross in the back is what makes the back corner. You have to do it this way or else it won't look 3D in the same way. Then I'm going to erase my extra orthogonals. And if you want, you can go and darken the lines that you want to keep.